I have lived in London for 10 years now. That is wild to me. I have made it a decade in the capital city, in the big smoke. But have I even scratched the surface of this city yet? No, I have not. It's just so big. So I want to plan some days out in London for myself to celebrate having made it a decade in this city. I moved here this summer, I graduated uni, and the age that I am at now and the life stage that me and my peers are at now, quite a few of my friends have come and gone. And that's not to judge you, because you never know, I may leave. But I want to celebrate this milestone for myself. So I've got 2 days planned out in the city of London, but not the city of London, in London, because the city of London is its own separate thing. But maybe we'll go there, who knows? And the way that this is going to work is that one of the days, my itinerary is going to be planned by an AI, ChatGPT to be specific. And on the other day, my itinerary is going to be planned by a London expert, by a human being, and that is my friend Jess from Love and London, to be specific. So I sent both ChatGPT and Jess the same brief, the exact same brief, and it was a very brief brief. I just wanted to see, based on very little, what they would come up with. I'm very excited. So this is the brief. Plan a fun day out in London for a mum who has a day to herself, no work, no kids, pick something to do in the morning and the afternoon, and somewhere to eat for lunch. Time available is 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. because your girl has still got to do childcare, pick up and drop off. A nice balance of relaxing and active. So that was the brief. We're going to be doing our AI day first. So let's see what ChatGPT has planned for me. Okay, morning, relaxing spa session. 10 a.m. till 12 p.m. Ooh, I mean, I feel like just giving it the word like mum, it's like, well, this mum is gonna wanna go to a spa. And actually I'm like, yes, this mum does want to go to a spa. Start the day with a luxurious spa session at the Amman Spa at the Connaught, located in the heart of Mayfair. Oh Jesus, how much is this gonna cost me? This spa offers a serene and tranquil environment where she can indulge in a range of treatments from massages to facials. The spa's holistic approach ensures a rejuvenating experience, perfect for a mum needing some pampering and relaxation. If that wasn't pulled directly from their website, I don't know what was. Okay, we're having a spa morning. I am 100% going to be getting myself a massage. Okay, lunch. Dining at the Ivy. I know of the Ivy. I think I've been to the Ivy for some like brand events and stuff, but I don't think I've ever eaten there. It feels quite generic. Like the Ivy is just like a fancy place that you go for lunch in Covent Garden, but everyone's heard of it, is my take. 12:30 till 1:30, okay. After a refreshing morning, head to the Ivy in Covent Garden for a delightful lunch. The Ivy is an iconic London restaurant known for its elegant yet relaxed atmosphere and diverse menu. She can enjoy a variety of classic British dishes or opt for something more contemporary, all while soaking in the vibrant surroundings of Covent Garden. I mean, when I say I've scratched the surface of London, I have been to Covent Garden before. Okay, we're having lunch at the Ivy, and I will probably need to reserve a table because I think they might get busy, but it will be a weekday lunchtime. I don't know. We'll reserve just in case. Okay, afternoon. Explore the Serpentine Galleries and Hyde Park. Okay, initial thoughts. Hyde Park, lovely, generic. Serpentine Galleries, have never been before. I know that they are in Hyde Park, but that is a gallery I've not been to before. I don't really know what they have there, but cool. The main thing that is red flag in my brain right now is that ChatGPT does not know where these things are located. Let me find you a map of London because it's going to be actually quite a difficult day in terms of getting around, and it is not well planned. Here is our map of London. However, this part of London actually isn't where we're talking about. I think this is like more the city of London. I think that might be like St. James's Park maybe. I could be completely wrong. I think that's Holborn. Anyway, doesn't matter. All you need to do is just be able to visualize space. Let's pretend this is Mayfair. ChatGPT says to go to the spa here, and then it wants me to go for lunch in Covent Garden, which is like quite close by, maybe like a 20-minute walk here. Then it wants me to go to Hyde fucking Park. which is all the way over here. Start here, go here, and then back on myself. London is a very walkable city, but that is not a well-planned itinerary. Right, anyway, let's see what it has to say about the fucking Serpentine Galleries in Hyde Park. So, post-lunch, take a leisurely stroll through Hyde Park, one of London's largest and most beautiful green spaces. Start with a visit to the Serpentine Galleries, which are renowned for their contemporary art exhibitions. The galleries are located within the park, making it easy to combine a cultural experience with a relaxing walk. After exploring the galleries, she can wander through the park, perhaps stopping by the Serpentine Lake or the Diana Memorial Fountain, enjoying the peace and beauty of nature in the heart of the city. And then they've done a little summary of my itinerary, and it says, this plan offers a perfect balance of relaxation and activity, allowing her to unwind in the morning, enjoy a delicious meal, and then take in some culture and nature in the afternoon. Well, I have to say, I'm very excited that it told me to book a massage. Honestly, I was secretly hoping that it would, because ChatGPT is a basic bitch, just like me. So I need to get that booked. I'm gonna reserve lunch, and then Serpentine Galleries we can just show up to. Let's do it. Let's go on a day out in London planned by AI. And then once you've seen that, then we'll get to Jess's itinerary. I have made it to Mayfair, the most expensive property on the Monopoly board. It is a windy, cloudy, and possibly rainy day in London, and I'm headed to the spa, a man's spa, for my massage this morning. It's so windy. Oh my god, I've just spotted the hotel where my spa is, and there is a man in a three-piece suit and a bowler hat standing outside this fancy Mayfair hotel. My very relaxing massage, and now I'm pace walking to lunch because I'm gonna be late, even though I booked my reservation 30 minutes after ChatGPT told me to, because I knew the distance, and yet still here we are. I don't want to slow myself down by getting distracted by vlogging, so I will update you on the spa and the massage after lunch. I walk faster than Google Maps. I'm here on time. It to the Italian Gardens in Hyde Park, which isn't something that ChatGPT told me to do, but it's on the route that I personally chose to take to the Serpentine Gallery. But let's recap the day so far. So the hotel where I got my massage was so fancy. It was so fancy. I had an hour-and-a-half holistic massage. It cost £260. My God, would I pay for that myself out of my own money? So I did pay for it, but on my business account because of content? No. Would I maybe ask to get a treatment, another kind of massage, the same thing from that spa as a gift? Like birthday, Mother's Day, that kind of thing? Yes, I would. I would try and get either my mum or dad to pay for something like that. It's one of those things where I just like wouldn't want to spend my money on, but would happily spend someone else's if it was a present for me. She said that my left side, my neck, shoulders, and lower back are very tense from all of my computer work. And then she also said that my hands as well, from like typing and being on the phone, like my hands, I was like, oh no. I knew that my neck and shoulders and back were bad, but like my hands. So then I made it on time to my Ivy lunch reservation. However, my smugness was not warranted because I was in fact at the wrong Ivy. There are 2 Ivies within a 5-minute walk from Covent Garden, and ChatGPT told me the Ivy, Covent Garden, and then when I booked it, I booked the Market Grill one, which is on Henrietta Street, I think, and I showed up at the one on West Street. But it was fine, they had space for me at the bar, which was quite fun, especially when you're like solo dining, sitting at the bar, it's always a good bet. But if I had actually gone to the correct Ivy that I had originally booked, I would have been late. And who knows which one ChatGPT wanted me to go to, which one it was recommending, I don't know. But my general review of the Ivy is meh. The menu is fancy British pub vibes. I got myself a fish and chips, but I'd stuffed myself too much on olives and bread before it came, so I only ate half of it and then I was really full. I had a lovely non-alcoholic mint lemonade thing, which they should have just called a virgin mojito because that's what it tasted like. But it was all just kind of fine. It looks kind of cool in there, but then when you really start to think about it, you're like, where am I? And why am I? And what is the point of this restaurant? Like, all of the windows were stained glass and you couldn't see outside. It was like being in a casino. Like the way that there's no natural light and no clocks, and they want you to lose time in there so you spend more money. Wouldn't recommend. The fish and chips was fine. Wasn't the best fish and chips I've ever had. But now I'm on my way to my afternoon activity, which is checking out the Serpentine Gallery. And from just searching for it on Google Maps, I have learned that there is the North Gallery and then the main Serpentine Gallery. I don't think they call the South one the South Gallery. It's like the North Gallery and then the Serpentine Gallery. I don't know. I have entered Hyde Park from the north, so I'll head to the North Gallery first and then see if I've got time to do both. But if I'd have walked it would have been a 53-minute walk, and I was not up for that after already having done a walk from the Spa to the Ivy. So I got the tube, but at Tottenham Court Road there was this really lovely like digital video music art installation, which is very cool. Wouldn't have stumbled across that. And then also the fact that I come here, what I've realized is missing from this AI itinerary is one, any sense of direction and calculating for times between activities and locations and things like that. But also London is incredibly walkable if you are strategic about it. And by that I mean you could have your like main stops and the places that you want to go and the things that you want to see, but if you plan your route properly, along the way you'll see so much more, and ChatGPT is not aware of that, it would seem. Anyway, let's head to this gallery. I have no idea how much you can even hear me. It is a windy, grey, miserable summer's day in London. The weather has been so nice recently and then just today, but ChatGPT does not control the weather, so I can't blame it for that. Feeling the contrast of being here from where I was in the West End, around where the Ivy is, just around Leicester Square and everything. It's just so busy. And then like, this is Hyde Park. This is arguably London's most famous park, and it's so quiet. Granted, it is the middle of the day in the summer holidays midweek, but still, it's lovely. Was a pleasant surprise. It was a small exhibition of some of the work of Judy Chicago, who's an American Jewish feminist artist, and had lots of lovely colourful things.
and she does a lot of feminist stuff, and then also looking at how patriarchy impacts the environment and climate and environmental justice, and how that intersects with patriarchy. And there were some very funny images related to that. I genuinely had to suppress a laughter when I saw it, but the one of the man pissing in the ocean, that was funny. That was funny. But then I felt really moved by a section of it that was all about depicting birth and labour, and about how in art, in a traditionally male-dominated industry where male artists are more celebrated, there's not that many depictions of birth. And there were some beautiful drawings and also like embroidery. There was one where it said there was like 150 people like worked on this embroidery piece or something. It was very cool, very cool. And there was one like quilt type thing that was called the crowning. Gotta love it, gotta love it. But I'm now walking to the South Gallery to see what we can find. I have to say though, the gift shop was lacking. The gift shop was lacking. It was just books. Where is my homeware? Where's my stationery and homeware? That was another really great exhibition. It was the British Nigerian artist Yinka Shonibare, and I got hiccups. Ugh. And he calls himself a post-colonial hybrid, and there were sculptures and installations, and he uses a lot of African print, but it's all commenting on colonialism. The whole room with all of the books wrapped in like African print coverings were all like war books, like they were all about wars or rebellions or revolutions, uprisings, revolts, riots, strikes, and then there was some that were about peace and treaties. Like it was all about war and conflict. I'm really curious as to like what the actual books are underneath, but you weren't allowed to touch anything. Are those books actually war books that are about all those different wars, or are they just any random book and they're just covered and like named as such? I don't know. And then there was this really cool room that was in the dark with all these different buildings, and then they were like lit up from the inside with again like the prints inside that you could see. And I feel like I'm supposed to know what some of these buildings are. Like some of them felt recognizable to me, like one massive cathedral. I was like, is that Notre Dame or is it Westminster Abbey? Like I don't know. And then there was one that looked like it could be like the Acropolis in Greece or something, but I feel like they were maybe meant to be like Western European kind of like colonial buildings, and then with the African print like lit up inside. And then there was like an interview with him playing, which was really interesting. And actually I looked up another interview of him on YouTube so I could get his name pronunciation, and even that was interesting, like in the first like 30 seconds of that video, because he has a CBE, which is the Commanders of the British Empire Honours, and it's something that the government or the king or the queen, I don't know, gives out. I think it's the government, but it's like, we want to recognise the good work in whatever field that you're in and you do, and you get your CBE and you're like a CBE Honours Commander of the British Empire. And he has one of those, and he uses the CBE on the end of his professional name. And in this interview he says that it's all part of like playing with his British identity and then the colonial history of that and his African identity, and the fact that he wants to criticize it and he wants to analyze it and look at it in that way, but also he secretly or not secretly wants to be a part of it, wants to be on the inside, and in this like Trojan horse kind of way to like disrupt from within. And a lot of his art is like exploring all of those different things. Very cool, very cool. And speaking of colonialism, look what I found. I mean, I have no idea if it's related to colonialism, but like probably. Okay, yeah, that is the Albert Memorial. And if it is Queen Victoria's husband Albert, which I assume it is, then yeah, big time for the colonizers, the Victorian period. But it's very interesting as well, and I think it was pointed out in the exhibition that his work was being displayed at the Serpentine Gallery, which is in like the royal parks, all connected to the empire and colonialism and his art. Yeah, honestly, pleasantly surprised. Never been to those galleries before, but have known of their existence, and 2 really great exhibitions for free. Free exhibitions. That's one of the great things about London. Lots of free art galleries and museums. But I now have time to kill, and so I'm going to hopefully slowly find my way to the Pavilion, I think, which is like the cafe that's along the Serpentine Lake in Hyde Park, and sit down, have a drink, and read my book. But ChatGPT gets no credit for that because the ChatGPT day is done. We did it. It started well and ended well and was messy in the middle. But next week is my Jess Love and London itinerary day, and she just sent it to me and I'm so excited. So tomorrow is my day out in London planned by Jess from Love and London, and I have the itinerary here, but also Jess sent me a video explaining the day she has planned for me, so I'm gonna let her explain it.
Hey Hannah, I've got a pretty nice day planned for you. We're actually gonna follow part of the route of day 4 of my London itinerary, which means that you will get to walk everywhere. We're not taking any public transport, and you can see a lot without feeling like it's just way too much to do. Okay, so I'm gonna start you off at the Design Museum at 10 a.m., which is right when it opens, so you're gonna be able to go in and not have to deal with the crowds. It's in Kensington, and it was founded by Sir Terence Conran, who is like a big person in the design world, and it showcases modern design in all its forms. Now, the museum is free to visit, but there's actually a Barbie exhibition on right now that is 18 pounds, but I think it's worth it. And you're gonna need about an hour to do this museum. Then head to Holland Park. It's not that far away. It's so beautiful here. I'm gonna let you explore it on your own and see what you like the best, but a couple things that I think you should definitely see are the Kyoto Garden and the Dutch Gardens. They're both very beautiful. Now, I know that you like doing thrift shopping, so I'm gonna send you up to Notting Hill, where there's some really good charity shops that I love to go into. They have a nice curated selection of stuff. And a couple of favorites that I love are the Farah on Elgin Crescent and the Oxfam on Westbourne Grove. There's also a lot of other cute, nice shops in between, so you can do a lot of browsing for an hour or so. Okay, now it's time for lunch, and I'm gonna make sure that you eat very well. So I would recommend going to Granger & Co., which is basically an Aussie-style brunch, lunch, dinner restaurant. No reservations here, but on a weekday, you should be totally fine walking in, or maybe just having to wait for a few minutes. The food is great here. There's a lot of stuff that I've had that has been so tasty. A personal recommendation for me is to try the grilled cheese and green kimchi open sandwich. It's very tasty. Now, make your way back to Portobello Road and head north, and you're gonna go to Golborne Road, which a lot of people don't end up making it to, but it's actually really great for antique shopping. I actually think it's better than Portobello Road, which is where everyone goes. But head up there, there's some really cute cafes if you wanna stop for a coffee. Go and browse the antique shops, which a lot of them are like crazy and quirky and expensive, but it's just fun to look at. And while you're around there, make sure you have a look at the Trellick Tower, which is a prime example of brutalist architecture in London. Then you're gonna use the digital map that I gave you from the London itinerary and navigate yourself to Regent's Canal. It's just a few minutes walk, but go for a lovely leisurely stroll along the canal. There's lots to see, beautiful houseboats that people actually live on. You can get to Little Venice and stop in the Rembrandt Gardens and have a little relax. As you're going, you're gonna spot Cafe La Ville, which is this really cute Italian cafe and restaurant that is quite literally over the canal, so you could stop there for a coffee. I also love their tiramisu. And you're gonna keep walking until you eventually get to Paddington Basin, and that was where your day is going to end. You'll be right at Paddington Station, so you can hop on the tube or a train and get where you need to go. Have a great time. I love it around there, so I know that you will, and enjoy.
Okay, I love that I'm going to be starting my day at the Design Museum and the Barbie exhibit, because I was literally talking to a friend recently being like, there's a Barbie exhibit! So that's a point. And then this entire itinerary is completely walkable and has multiple stops. We have a stop for some charity shopping as well. Oh God, do I need more stuff? No, but I do love a charity shop browse. I love a charity shop browse. And this is really fun because this is West London. It's an area that I do not really explore, but I used to live in Shepherd's Bush. Like, this used to be on my doorstep. Did I ever explore it? No. So I'm kind of excited to see this part of London that I probably should know better, considering that I lived down the road from it for 2 years. I love that she's giving me something to do every hour, and part of the itinerary is like how you navigate from like one place to another and the things that you see on the way. Love it. The weather forecast for tomorrow is looking good. 22 degrees and sunny. Perfect day for walking around West London. And I will see you tomorrow morning for the Barbie exhibit at the Design Museum. feel very Barbie in my top currently.
Let's go to the design museum. Such a great exhibition. I'd only been to the Design Museum once before to see some of their free exhibits, and that was years ago, but the Barbie girly in me was very much enjoying. It was really wholesome as well. There was like a Barbie box you could get your photo in and some other photo thing, and like me and this other adult woman, and then also this woman who was there with her kid. We're all like, can you take a picture of me, take a picture of me, like doing all the things. Felt very ridiculous, but it was very cute. But the exhibit itself was so interesting because obviously it's the Design Museum, so it takes a design angle looking at all. The evolution of the Barbie logo was super interesting because the present one is almost identical to the original one from the 60s. Like, the only difference that I could really see was the dot on the I and the flick of the E. Maybe some design people can be like, no, Hannah, they are so different, but to me, identical. There was like the evolution of like all of the different Barbies and like how they make the face molds and all of this kind of stuff, all of the different dream houses. The original dream house from 1962 is just so mid-century. It's just basically the style of mid-century modern that is obviously very popular now, but it was actually mid-century because it was 1962. But yeah, I had a great time. There were some Kens, there was Midge, there was an Alan doll. It was very, very cool. I'm now walking through Holland Park, which is my next stop. I don't think I've ever been through this park before, and I've got some time, a leisurely stroll through Holland Park, and the next thing on my stop is to head to Notting Hill for some charity shop shopping. I've got time, although I am starting to feel hungry already, but depending on hunger and time, I might find somewhere nice to sit in Holland Park, because Jess mentioned a couple of very pretty gardens. So let's go discover what this park has to offer, because London parks are very good. It's gorgeous! This is the Dutch garden. Look at all these pretty flowers. I found some Jess. Okay, fuck me. This park is stunning. How have I never come to this park before? I now immediately want to try and find an excuse to be in West London again with Rowan and Dan, because I also saw on the map that there's a playground here, but the Dutch garden and the Kyoto gardens, beautiful. And now I'm just like walking through the quietest, like wooded area. Like, this is one of my favorite things about London parks, is that you could be like in the busiest part of central London and you go into the park, you can't hear any of it. I love it. Right, I am now headed to Notting Hill, and next on the itinerary is charity shop shopping, but I am hungry. So I'm gonna go to lunch first, which is at Granger & Co. And the great thing is that all of these things are so close to each other, so it doesn't matter that I'm switching around the order, because I need to eat. I've been up since 6:30 and I've only had a piece of toast and jam today. So we're headed to Notting Hill and Granger & Co. And I believe Jess has recommended that I try the grilled cheese. So I will consider, but we shall see. We'll see what I'm in the mood for when I see the menu. But as I mentioned, I don't often come to West London, but look at these gorgeous houses and gorgeous trees. It is very quintessential West London. We are in the bubba of Kensington and Chelsea. Wait, are we still in Kensington and Chelsea? We might move to Hammersmith and Fulham. We might, I don't know. I don't really know my boroughs very well. Money. How much do we reckon? How much do we reckon for one of these? If they're even still houses, not turned into flats. I think they're still houses. Oh no, that one's flats. Multiple buzzers. Millions. Millions. Oh my god, I'm walking down Westbourne Grove. Came through Portobello Road, but I want to come back here and go shopping. It would be a very expensive shopping trip. Fuck me. There are so many shops here that I want to try. Like there's a Cezanne, there's a Free People, there's a Ganni, there's also a Reformation. We tried that, didn't work so great on my boobs. And also I think all of these shops are like in Covent Garden as well, but it's so much busier around there. This is so lovely and peaceful and quiet. I don't know what it's like on a weekend though. It is a Thursday, but I think I have found Granger & Co. I'm hungry. Unfortunately, they couldn't do the grilled cheese, but I have got myself ricotta hotcakes, whatever that means, oops, with banana and honey and butter. It looks amazing. All right, I had a delicious lunch. It's basically like a very fat, fluffy pancake. And I also had a raspberry mojito. And now headed to do some charity shop shopping. I had a read of my book for a bit as well, so I feel like well digested for some browsing and more walking now. Were two very good charity shops, the Oxfam on Westbourne Grove and then the Farah on like Elgin, just off Portobello Road, which we are now on, and we're walking up Portobello Road towards our next stop, which is, I've forgotten, Goldbourne Grove Street Road? Maybe, something like that, which is meant to be another cute road similar to this, but like less touristy. Okay, yes, so I'm heading to Goldbourne Road, and it's a good spot to stop for tea in one of the cute cafes, and also it's got some quirky antique shops. I actually need my water bottle refilled, so maybe I will stop in a cafe, get a drink, although not tea, because I don't drink tea. I know, sorry, I'm not properly English, and then I can get my water bottle refilled as well. And then she said there's also the Trellick Tower there, which I need to take a look at, as it's a prime example of some brutalist architecture. Love some brutalist architecture. Gotta take a look at that. But yeah, let's walk to Goldbourne Road. I found the Trellick Tower. That's some brutalist architecture if I've ever seen some. Very cool at the end of this road. This is a very nice road, but I'm actually not going to stop here for a drink and a water refill, because in her itinerary for me, she's recommended another cafe that's like a stop along the canal. And so I'm going to start the next bit and walk towards Regent's Canal and get something to drink. Maybe something to eat as well, maybe a little afternoon snack at a cafe in that direction. I love Regent's Canal. One of the absolutely wild things about London is how you can just like walk for 10-15 minutes and you've gone from an area of extreme wealth to then not so much. I wouldn't say this is an area of poverty, I don't actually know. but you can just tell by the like buildings and the streets and everything. It's just like, oh, we're in an entirely different like part of London now. There's a film crew there. What are they filming? Welcome to Regent's Canal. So, in my limited London knowledge, Regent's Canal is fucking huge. It goes all the way across London because I have walked along Regent's Canal before. I facilitated a buggy nap all the way from the Young V&A, which is in Bethnal Green, to Angel, and that was like over an hour walk or something with the sleeping baby. But also the Regent's Canal then goes around King's Cross and Camden, and then now we're in West London and it's still going. And I believe in Jess's itinerary, I'm just like cruising along this canal, just taking a nice little stroll. We'll go through Little Venice, which I've never like walked through, but I think I've like gone past on a bus and been like, oh my god, it's so pretty. And then there's a gardens and cafe recommendation along the route at some point, and then taking me to Paddington and the Paddington Basin, which honestly I had no idea even existed until recently when we accidentally found ourselves there from walking along the canal. And I was like, wait, what? If the Paddington Basin is what is in my head of where I've been before. So let's enjoy this stroll. There's paddleboarders on the canal. Imagine living in one of these houses. How much do you reckon they cost? Millions. I'll meet you by the entrance of the tube. Anyone else? Dusty? Dusty? Throw it back. Her name's not Dusty, I'm pretty sure. It's Duffy. My brain went to Dusty Springfield. That's how long it's been. Still a great song. Had a lovely walk and I've now made it to Paddington, but before I get the tube home I am gonna have a little sit down drink because that was a long walk. Now I'm not going to the place that Jess put in her itinerary for me, but she sent me like the digital map that she and Love in London have put together, and there is another cafe that is on that digital map that is just up here. So I'm gonna sit down, have a drink, fill up my water bottle, maybe read a bit more of my book, and then get the tube. Obviously I walked past it as I was talking, but da 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 da. Okay, I'm back home. Oh, my feet hurt and I'm sweaty. Oh, but what a fun day! What a great day. Right, before I summarise my thoughts on the 2 days, the AI day versus the like human London expert day. Obviously I'm biased here, obviously. But I genuinely did send the same brief to ChatGPT and Jess from Love in London, and Jess didn't see what ChatGPT had come up with before she sent me hers. But this video is entirely my idea. Jess doesn't pay me for any of this, although she did kindly set me up with an affiliate link. So if you do want to get any of the Love in London itineraries or area guides of London, then you can get 10% off with my code Hannah10, and I get a little bit of commission on that. But one thing I will say about the itineraries is thank you, Jess, for sending me the 6-day one, because already outside of filming this video, I've used it for finding dinner recommendations and like places to eat and drink just in my everyday life. So very useful. But I feel like today I did so much more. Like I managed to pack in so much more London stuff and like a different part of London than I have explored before. Holland Park, going back there again at some point, so lovely. Obviously had lovely sunny weather today, which does always make a day better. But for me, it just goes to show that when you have that human touch, you're not just going,
here are your 3 stops for the day. There's like 5 or 6 stops, and they were all so close to each other, and also the getting to each one, the journey there was like part of the itinerary. There were things to see en route. And obviously today, other than obviously getting the tube in and out of central London, everything that I did was walking, whereas last week I had to get the fucking tube. And one of my walks between locations was like a 25-30 minute walk, but there wasn't any like intentional sightseeing or activities en route. Obviously I did enjoy the massage, but having thought about it for a week, I'm not going to be spending £260 on a massage ever again, no. There is a place really near me that I've been to a few times that does a great hour massage for 70 quid, and that is good enough for me. The Ivy lunch was boring. The Serpentine Galleries, loved. Really liked those. Barbie exhibit, fucking fantastic. Loved it. Holland Park, as I've said. Notting Hill, generally. Lunch place was great. The charity shops, okay. Just in case there's going to be any comments of like, but what did you buy? I got these 2 things from the first charity shop, which was the Oxfam on Westbourne Grove. I got this dress. I know it's so similar to other dresses that I have, but I just put it on. I was like, oh, this looks like it belongs in my wardrobe. And then this like navy blouse, which I got because I keep feeling like what is missing from my wardrobe is like plain blouses, because I have a lot of patterned stuff, but I need more like long sleeved plain things for the coming autumn months. So yeah, those are my days out in London, planned by an AI and a London expert. I would definitely recommend following Love in London on Instagram. I'm not even a tourist, I live in this city, and I get so many recommendations and like insider knowledge from their Instagram. And Jess is my London friend who I'm always asking for recommendations from anyway, and so now I have them all in a beautiful PDF. I hope you enjoyed this video. I need to now go do the childcare run. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.